Now, Super Bowl 59, we've got you covered from all sides. Jeff Darlington with the Chiefs all week, while Sal Paolantonio is on the Eagles. We want to spend some time today talking about the moves these teams made in the offseason that led them to New Orleans this week. Let's start with the biggest move of the offseason, Philly landing Saquon Barkley. Sal, tell us more there.
Well, there were two moves made by the Eagles in the offseason that paid off big. The number one was Saquon Barkley, brought in as a free agent by general manager Howie Roseman. In my opinion, the number one free agent acquisition in the NFL in the last 25 years. His impact has been immediate, and his impact has been long-term, both in the locker room and on the field. You can't really calculate how much he has meant to the team, but you have to go beyond the numbers and see what kind of leadership that he has brought to the football team. And then linebacker Zach Bond, brought over on a one-year contract as a situational pass rusher and special teams player, and winds up as an all-pro linebacker, led the NFL most of the way in tackles, now leading this Vic Fangio defense, number one defense in the National Football League, led by a linebacker position, running back, linebacker, both undervalued for years by the Philadelphia Eagles, paying off big time here in Super Bowl 59 against the Kansas City Chiefs. And with those Kansas City Chiefs, my friend Jeff Darlington. What do you got, Jeff?
Well, listen, Sal, as crazy as it sounds, there is a case to be made that the Chiefs wouldn't have gotten here without a rookie in Xavier Worthy, a wide receiver who they acquired, by the way, in an intriguing way. A trade from the 32nd pick overall to the 28th with, of all teams, the Buffalo Bills. Now, what makes Worthy so valuable to this team is his willingness to learn the entire route tree this season. Not an easy thing for a rookie to do, especially in this Chiefs system. Offensive coordinator Matt Nagy saying that basically he loved the maturity and the patience that Worthy brought to this organization throughout the season. They wanted him to take his time, recognizing that as a Chiefs wide receiver, it is as important to be ready for the postseason as it is to be prepared for the regular season. We have seen his target share go up. He is popular in the locker room. The team loves him. And by the way, most importantly, Patrick Mahomes trusts him. As a result, Worthy expected to play a very big role on Sunday in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Laura?
it's been fun, Jeff, to see that trust develop over this season. It's bumping in there with Darlington and Sal. We love to see it. All right, the Chiefs' offense is nothing like it was the last time these teams met in the Super Bowl. Statistically, Kansas City went from the highest scoring and most efficient red zone offense in 2022 to middle of the pack at best in 2024. But worth noting, the Chiefs' scoring defense is improved this time around. Different teams, certainly, although some similarities. Let's start with Kansas City. Mina, how has Worthy's role evolved leading him to this point?
I loved hearing Jeff talk about how he has developed his route tree over the course of the season, because you see that play out on the football field. Beginning of the year, Worthy was just vertical threat, stretch the field, clear outs, and then gadget stuff. But as the year went on, you saw him become a different player in this offense. Shallows, quick outs. Those are the primary routes he runs, and they're really important for the Chiefs in terms of how they attack man coverage in particular. First part of the season through week 14, Travis Kelce was the leading target share getter versus man. Since then, it's been Worthy by a lot, a significant amount, and that's going to make a big difference in the Super Bowl, because if the Eagles do play a decent amount of man coverage, as I expect they will, Xavier Worthy might end up being the pivotal player because of the development we saw in the second half of the season.
I felt like Andy Reid and Matt Nagy had to sort of reimagine everything that Xavier Worthy was supposed to be. I think when you see that electric 40 time at the combine, you think to yourself, okay, we're going to stretch the field with him. But we also have to remember that that was supposed to be with Hollywood Brown, also Rashee Rice. And as the year went along, I don't necessarily know if it was about learning the entire route tree or being allowed to run the entire route tree. They learned that he could be a run after the catch guy, explosive in the run game and jet sweeps, and also someone that they could put on the move and use in man-to-man coverage to not only give them the indication of what's being played, but beat the one-on-ones, not just deep down the field, but into intermediate and short areas of the field as well. And I think Xavier Worthy has taken advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah, we heard Sal Powell bringing up the Saquon side of things. Marcus, how has he changed things in Philly?
Yeah, Boogie, his home run ability is number one, and obviously that's what stands out the explosive plays. They don't have a lot of red zone productivity because Saquon is always hitting these long runs as we have Xavier Worthy. But Saquon is who we're talking about. Listen, the other part of this as well, in baseball, they try to bring pitchers in that match up with batters, hopefully to create mismatches. In the NBA, they try to create pick and roll to get a big to guard a small and let the speed and the blow-by ability to take advantage of that matchup. Saquon is that. He's a look changer as well. They can use him to determine and dictate to defenses, not just in the run game. He's also devastating if you want to get him matched up on linebackers in the passing game as well. The one unsung thing he's been doing this year very well is protecting when blitzes are coming and picking up those things. But it's just so many things you can do with him. And not only does he change the numbers for you defensively before the snap, he forces you to play certain personnels and certain looks based on his alignment.
I love that point about his pass protection, because in the championship game in particular, he had a couple moments in blitz pickup, that were integral in terms of protecting Jalen Hurts, and obviously that's going to be huge in the Super Bowl. I think when we look back on this acquisition, because I agree with Sal Pal, this was the acquisition of the offseason, the way I'll remember it is this. The Eagles, who have historically not invested in running back, realized not only was there value to be found because of the devaluation of the position, but this was an area of strength that they could make even stronger. They already had an excellent run game. They already had a dominant offensive line. Adding a dominant back to that equation made their run game as explosive as most teams' pass games. And I think when we look to the offseason next year, that'll be something we'll look for with other teams that have similarly good offensive lines.
GM Howie Roseman just pushing all the right buttons all the time, it seems. Reminder, the Chiefs have not allowed a running back to go for 100-plus yards this season.
Howie Roseman.
You tell him, Howie.
How's it going, everybody? Villa Sports Network here. Just want to thank you guys for your support on the channel. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Also want to kind of remind you to don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment on the video if you like as well. But regardless of the fact, thank you again for your support, and hope to see you on the next video.